evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to In the Studio, powered by 100TB. 100TB is an infrastructure services provider that does stuff like cloud servers, dedicated server hosting, and other content delivery systems. Make sure you check them out at 100TB.com as they make this show possible. We're back once again in the wrap-up of ESL 1, boys. It's been an intense 2 days of Dota watching.
Yes, it was starting really early, like at 2 a.m., 1 a.m. our time, so we all were on different sleep schedules. I was taking like hour naps here and there just so I could watch as many games as possible. I did sleep through a few, but got to catch like 80% of it, so it was
I
a great
caught
event.
like 60%, but pretty much every game I watched was pretty intense, and I was lucky enough to catch the amazing Alliance versus Cloud9 two-game series, and that was kind of hyped as one of the better games of the tournament. So
yeah, it was a fun event.
The game 2 in particular.
Yeah, great matches. It was just condensed, straightforward, single elimination, do or die, and it produced some great Dota. So.
Yeah, there's some debate about the single limb, but one thing is for sure, it makes every game very exciting. So it was a hype tournament, man.
Yeah, no doubt.
I would say the most hyped Dota 2 tournament I've seen outside of TI, to be honest.
Yeah, I think
There's
so.
a lot of energy in that building.
Huge crowd, huge stadium. Even just hearing the echo, the little bit of echo on the casters' mics adds a whole nother layer of just. You can tell there's so many people there pumped up.
It was a great panel as well. There were a lot of people. They rotated people in and out. It was good.
Great casting, lots of hosts, everything you would look for in a big live event like that. So today we're going to do the first part talking about ESL 1. We're going to talk about the finals under the microscope and just our thoughts about the event as a whole. And in the second part, we're going to talk Vici issues and some of the Fanatic drama. We've got a couple of guests joining us, and first up, we've actually got Liquid Qojqva to tackle the final series with us. Qojqva, how you doing, buddy?
Hey guys, doing great.
Thanks for coming on the show. It's good to have you.
Thanks for having me.
He's staying up late, by the way, just for us.
Yeah.
It's only midnight. It's alright.
Damn.
So, Qojqva, how much of the tournament did you get to watch? Did you get to catch pretty much all of it?
Pretty much, yeah. Obviously not like the ones that went really late, so just went to sleep and watched the awards the next day.
So, what was your take overall as a spectator?
From the whole event. I really liked that, like all the pictures they tweeted and stuff. It looked really cool. I wish I could have been there. You know.
Yeah.
As do we.
Yeah, I was a little jelly. It's like, man, if it wasn't in Germany, I totally would have gone.
Yeah. So the final series, it started off pretty good. EG took game 1, I would say rather handily. They were in good form. Universe and Zai were land and epicenter. Chronospheres combos left and right. Game 2, IG just picked up a lot of momentum, kind of stuck it to them. And Game 3, flawless victory for IG. Evil Geniuses just kind of flopped over. Qojqva, you're our expert analyst here. What happened in Game 3 in particular? I mean, that was just, as the casters were saying, pretty much perfect execution from IG as it translated
Synderen
on the
said
field.
they're like not human anymore, and I can agree on that. This was ridiculous. Like all the movement, all the counter ganks, everything was perfect in that game. I don't know. There was like no opening for EG to come back. Usually when you're like behind, there's like 1 or 2 openings. Usually it's like in their safe lane where you can like get a few kills and get a tower. But IG, like, there was no opening for like EG. Nothing to do.
So do you think it was more
victory.
of a drafting issue or sort of an execution issue? IG took 2 heroes that we hadn't seen much in the tournament, Kunkka with their 4th pick and Queen of Pain with their 5th pick. So they kind of threw a curveball into EG's more standard opener. They went Wisp Tiny to get things started. Do you look at this as an outdraft, or did IG just get a couple of early kills and never let go of the momentum? What was the nail in the coffin?
I think it's like a mix of both. They picked really strong lanes. Like Tiny couldn't farm much mid because of the co-op and the roaming. So it was like a combination of outpick and outlane. Plus like the roaming by Kunkka and SD made it really hard for EG to do like anything. So
I don't know how you feel, Qojqva, but to me it seemed like every close match, the team that was more aggressive in the laning stage won. Like you look at the Mouse IG series, the one game that Mouse takes, they were running the Bane Mirana, they got like, and that's sort of standard Mouse sports. They just look to get a ton of kills and snowball, but a lot of games in this tournament were just flat out won by the early roaming, the dual roaming, or we saw it a bit less here, but Chuan's Enchantress has been huge for IG. Do you think this is something that's here to stay? Was that a significant factor to you?
I think so. Like almost all games, the team that had 2 roamers won. Like the SD Podem, this game, the SD Kunkka. Like whoever has like the better roaming combo just wins. Because if you roam, you basically win 2 lanes, mid, and like the lane you roam on. You always like pendle between 2 lanes, right? Mid and the other lane. So it's like you win 2 out of 3 lanes, and then if you have like another hero on the third lane, you win like everything. And if you played like really well after that, it's really hard to come back from losing like 2 or 3 lanes. So.
I want to ask you about Sand King as well. He was a key hero in the final series. I believe EG picked him in all 3 games, and each game it kind of seemed like his power lessened. Game 1, it was like epicenter after epicenter turning fights around, and then in the last game, they gave him a lot of farm priority. He had a pretty well-timed Blink Dagger. He actually farmed over the Mirana in the safe lane, and it seemed like that farm didn't really translate to a huge game impact.
No, not really. I don't know. I think IG just dodged the Sand King really well. Like, they had a lot of vision, so they could always see when he epicenters, and then react accordingly. With Boat, for example, to negate the damage, or with the Shadow Demon Disrupt, or just the Chrono, just Chrono the Sand King. Or just like Chrono like the other heroes, so the epicenter doesn't do much on its own.
Yeah.
That's the other benefit I feel like to the really strong roaming combos is you have a much better level 1, so you can get control of their jungle, and it's very dangerous for them to try and contest you. And I mean, you mentioned getting the early wards down, and those kinds of combos are just better at doing it.
I think the one game were IG against Alliance. Alliance had Enchantress, and IG warded, I think, 4 camps in the jungle.
Yeah.
So Alliance was like... Ake was like useless in that game. Couldn't do anything. 4 wards, I mean 4 camps were warded. What can he do? And if he goes to their jungle, they will just catch him.
I think
the
the other
roaming
thing
combo,
IG showed in the grand finals is that just how strong Invoker is still as well. I think EG, especially against EG, because EG are always running this kind of like 1-core lineup with Artesian cores and then Mason as well as Universe playing these more teamfight heroes. Like Mason was on the Sand King.
Yeah.
He plays more kind of. I mean, sometimes he'll play a Brewmaster.
Yeah.
He'll play something like a Stormster every now and then, but it's kind of well, Storm was kind of common, but for IG it was always like Luo, Invoker, and then Ferrari playing Ember Spirit, Queen of Pain, some kind of not just a tempo controller, but a true 2-core lineup for them. So
Yeah.
I think that was something which EG just didn't have
So-
their lineup didn't match up well against.
What do you think about the Elder Titan last pick? Do you think it was good? Do you think they should have picked something else?
It was on the Dire
last game?
off lane.
Yeah,
the last game.
Dire
yeah.
off lane as well.
I'd rather have them pick something else in that game. I'm not sure. I don't know what the bans were though. Was Darkseer in the pool? Darkseer would have been good.
I don't think he was banned out, but I don't remember. I don't remember seeing any Darkseer bans.
He
They
was
haven't
just kind of
picked
ignored
Darkseer.
this whole tournament. I
Yeah,
feel
there
like.
wasn't a lot of
Even by
Darkseer
EG.
love.
Darkseer isn't that popular, I think. Universe plays it, but not a lot of teams actually run Darkseer. Do you think RTZ's OD would have been good that game?
They picked Tiny early, right?
It was
Yeah.
Tiny
Yes.
Wisp first.
Tiny
too.
Wisp opener.
Okay, so they had to safe lane that or put him mid, and then Arteezy could go safe lane or mid, just the other lane. I don't know. I'm not sure what OD would do in that game. I think they would just roam him too, with the SK and Kanka.
The
Not
Astral's
even sure
Prism
what hero
is like
would
a
be good.
preset for Kunkka in some ways. So
Yeah, that's a good
Double
point.
disruption.
Yeah. Qojqva, as a player, what do you think about the scheduling? This event was not flawless in context of the scheduling. EG had to play in 3 of the 4 best of 3s today, and that's a long, tiring. That's like a 12-hour day for EG. They got started
It's like the DK newbie
before
day,
noon.
where they just played each other.
Yeah.
But that was online from the comfort of home.
Yeah.
Yes, and also against the same opponents, so it's slightly different. Do you think that there was some sort of an advantage for IG going into that series, being more rested and having more time to see EG play throughout the day instead of vice versa? How much of an impact do you think that had on the final series?
I think it was definitely a slight advantage, because usually you really don't play that long, even if you scrim like all day. It's just not the same, because these games on LAN plus the big crowd, that's in your head more than just playing scrims. It's
Yeah.
different. It exhausts you more, and it goes a lot of your nerves too.
Yeah.
So
and exhaustion's one thing, but like PPD after they beat Fnatic, PPD was like getting interviewed. And he's like talking about how do you think you'll do against IG. And he's like, look, I haven't even watched IG play much today. He was basically saying like we haven't prepared for them. They've been sitting back for the last 3-4 hours watching our games. I mean, sure, they didn't know if they were versing EG or Fnatic, but they could be kind of theory crafting, talking to each other, planning drafts depending on who they're going to be up against. So
Yeah.
from that point of view, IG had more time to prepare and relax, whereas EG just suddenly gets thrown into the grand finals when they just got out of best of 3 against Max. So exhaustion aside, it was like
Yeah.
the scheduling did not favor them.
Yeah.
And
And
the other thing is that it was originally supposed to be a BO5. And
Yeah.
obviously, given that they moved the one match, it just wasn't possible schedule-wise. But
Yeah.
DK was actually up on EG 2-1 at the Summit. And if that was a BO3, then DK just takes the series. To me, EG is a very good adaptive team. Like, the more they play you, they kind of figure out your style, and they adjust to you. But in a BO3, you don't have that much room for adjustments.
Yeah, you screw up, it's match point. Yeah. So I think grand final should always be best of 5, just for hype and
And
for
obviously,
fairness,
ESL wanted them to be. But,
Yeah.
that was the original plan. But
2 days, 8 teams.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
it was
really
like
cutting
PPD put it. It was a one-day tournament. I mean,
yeah, that was what I was going to bring up next. That the first day they're hanging around, they're taking notes, like, okay, we're going to get in the zone. We have to play in the last series today, and then wow, we could have actually been resting all day on day 1 and been more charged for today, and instead they were at the venue all day, sort of more in the zone, and ended up being kind of a, I don't want to say waste of time, but not the best use of their time perhaps, as they didn't end up playing any matches.
Yeah.
Eek.
I mean, the other thing I'm curious about, Qojqva, is like, how do you look at a lot of these teams going into TI? Do you feel like ESL really shed some light on the power rankings? Do you think this is just a warm-up tournament for teams? How big do you think IG's performance, even EG still finishing top 2? How much does this tournament tell you about these teams?
This tournament put like more emphasis on the roaming combos definitely than the last tournament, so I think that got kind of revealed. Because I think something like that can catch you off guard really easily going into TI, so that and probably the Elder Titan pick. There was sort of Elder Titan this tournament, not like no Elder Titan before that.
Yeah.
So that's kind of surprising.
The only time I really saw him was like in the Chinese scene. You'd see teams either pick Elder Titan to protect a Morphling pick, or sometimes we'd see teams pick it to counter. But and occasionally with Ember Spirit, they'll run the Elder Titan.
That's
Ember.
IG.
But that's really it.
Yeah, IGDK.
Until this tournament.
Yeah.
I mean, Qojqva, looking at like the picks and playstyle aside, like, do you think this tournament's very telling to like? I mean, firstly, let's look at the teams who kind of fell out early, like looking at Na'Vi, looking at Vici Gaming. Do you think this is kind of a sign that these teams won't do well at TI4?
Cloud9 as well.
Ouch.
I'm not sure. Maybe they're hiding strats.
Yes, see, that's my theory as well. Everyone's saving strats.
Look,
Do you
I don't
actually
think
do you
anyone
actually
would
believe that?
Everyone's saving strats here.
No.
hiding strats is not a
Damn.
thing.
It's too much money at this tournament to
Yeah.
hide strats.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's way more money at TI, but still.
If you have like a
The competition
really
is
like
hard, yeah,
cool
too.
pocket strat that's like you're like almost guaranteed to win with in a best of 1, maybe that's probably something you save, but
Yeah.
you're not gonna like not play to win. Like you play your strong drafts,
Yeah.
and people know your strong drafts. Like people know what EG are gonna draft half the time. People know what IG maybe want to draft. People know what teams are gonna draft, but they still do it and it still wins. So
Yeah. Another build we saw a lot of this tournament is the kind of Admiral Bulldog style of Nature's Prophet these days. Your power treads into Maelstrom, into Blink, and just go all rat. Qojqva, there's been some discussion around about this build being the new Prophet build. Do you see like Blink on that hero every game, or do you think it's more situational? What do you think the state of that current Furion build is?
I still think it's situational, but I got flamed by my team for that.
Yeah.
Just sometimes I should think Midas is the way to go. If you feel like the game is gonna be like a long game, you know, if they have like 2 Midases on their own, so I don't know. I would still go Midas sometimes, but
Yeah.
the Blink or hit or Blink and X seems way stronger than like the normal Furion build. So
Yeah.
It seemed like that was the solution to IG or to Alliance. IG just banned the Prophet Wisp, and Alliance didn't really seem to have a great plan B. Like, what do you think Alliance should be doing right now? Do they need to diversify their strategies? Is that just IG play really well? Like, I actually thought that would be a close series. I thought it would go 3 games, be a 2-1 win.
Yeah.
I even slightly favored Alliance. Historically, they've done well against the top Chinese teams, but yeah, what do you think about Alliance now?
I thought Alliance would win too, actually. We played them in scrims a lot, and they seemed really fucking strong. So I thought they would actually crush IG, but I guess it was all about the Wisp and Furion ban.
it just
I
begs
definitely
the question
think they
like
have
why more
more-
teams don't ban Furion against them almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we gonna see more teams just go that route? I guess force Alliance to win another way at the very least.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they have other strategies though.
Oh yes.
They're a team that I feel like could be saving strats. Not to say they're not playing to win, but Alliance has been known for their level 1 Roche tactics. They're
Yeah.
very
Well,
not
for
gimmicky,
we
but
don't have
pocket
to, but-
strats.
I want to see someone try a level 1 Roche at TI4. That will be nearly impossible.
Can you imagine if it's in?
I don't think it's possible. I mean, everyone
Not in
would
Key
be-
Arena. I don't know. I think it's
everyone
just
would-
impossible to get away with
Group
it.
stage.
Group
I think
stage,
it'll
maybe.
happen.
Yeah, maybe.
Looks like we did lose Qojqva here,
Oh no.
but let's see if we can get him back at least.
Intentional or accidental disconnect?
Did he
That's the
just
real
die?
question.
He's calling me back.
Oh, okay, good.
Let's see.
Phew. Poor
Alrighty.
feelings, guys.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I'm sick of these scums.
Internet connection problem. That's not good.
Uh-oh.
Is that us?
Oh, we got him back.
Okay. Qojqva, hello?
Hey.
Hi.
Hey. Oh, okay, glad to have you
We
back,
thought
buddy.
you ditched us, man. What the hell?
Disconnect.
I thought we were friends.
Talk about shreds. Have to go into hiding.
Yeah. So
He has
yeah,
wildcards, man.
what strats are liquid hiding? Qojqva?
So in context of other upsets, Fnatic versus Vici, I think that was the biggest actual upset of the tournament. In my fantasy bracket, I had that as an easy. That was my only 2-0 actually. Was just Fnatic. Sorry, but I pegged Vici as the obvious favorites there.
And everyone on the analyst panel as well was
Yeah.
like, "There's no way Vici loses this." The Melk was I think he was the lone guy who gave Fnatic a shot.
Mhm.
Although I think that was just
They had to have one guy
European
on the other
fanboyism.
side.
But hey, he was right.
Yeah. So what do you think, Qojqva? What was that series all about? That was one of the series that I slept through. So I mean, what was the downfall of Vici? Was it drafting, execution?
I only saw one game. I only saw
Okay.
game one.
Okay.
We're missing your beautiful face, by the way.
Should I recall? Skype?
You could just click the camera, I think,
Yeah.
at the bottom,
Camera on.
or you could recall.
Uh,
That's fine as well.
All right. So
It's like blank. I can't click on it.
oh
Oh no.
no.
Here, that's okay. I have a solution to this.
Who did get to watch the full series? Did the Davids and Lysander see
They,
it?
they
Watched
gave away
1.5
Tiny Wisp
games.
all 3 games.
Yeah, all three
And-
games. Tiny
And they
Wisp.
actually did beat it once, and I think they could have beaten it in the last game, but just to me, it's like just put Fnatic out of their comfort zone. Qojqva, what do you think? You play a lot of Tinker. I haven't seen you play much Meepo, but against Fnatic, what would you rather give away? Like it was like kind of choose your poison. Would you rather give away the Wisp, the Tinker, or the Meepo if you have to pick one?
I would give away Tinker. I would ban Meepo and let them have Tinker.
Yeah.
Because
Tinker
Sam
has
and me
counters.
know how to play against that hero so well. Like, I think we would actually
Yeah.
crush that hero.
You've got 2 of the best Tinker players in your team, so it's like what
yeah.
beats Tinker.
There's no way we would ban that hero. We talked about it too, Sam and me, after the game. We were like, why are they banning Tinker? It
Okay.
literally has like 1 million counters in the pool against Tinker. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
And they first pick it too. So there's like 3 or 4 heroes that
Yeah.
you can build a good lineup around. And
Yeah.
they counter Tinker really hard. So.
Fnatic has a lot of heroes that they're really comfortable with, but Wisp is just that classic, just
Yeah.
What do you
Yeah.
fuck all kind of hero? What do you do? You know,
And it's
just,
Fnatic.
it's Fnatic, yeah,
Fnatic
just-
Wisp.
you just don't give Wisp to
classic.
Alliance. You don't give it to Fnatic. You don't
Yeah.
even give it to Navi.
just
I think.
classic.
Yeah.
Fnatic as a whole were really impressive. Not just being Vici Gaming, but taking EG to the limits. I thought they had that game 3.
Yeah. That
I
was
think
EG
they got
resilience.
really impatient. They took a few fights they shouldn't, but I really thought they were going to win that game 3. They just had a few really bad fights.
I chose all the wrong games to take a nap through.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously, me too.
That Alliance Cloud 9 game, that game.
I was pumped for EG Fnatic game 3. Me and Roland were watching it, like shouting on, and
Nice!
it was. I don't know. Did you watch that game 3, Qojqva? EG Fnatic?
Like a glimpse of it.
Okay. Subject to compromise. LD, please.
Hey man, he
Not
doesn't have
much.
a webcam for us. I'm
I'm
MacGyver.
You're gonna get feedback, all right?
Yeah.
Should I just recall? Is that-
Yeah,
Sure.
that's fine.
You can have, you
We
can have
found
go
a
at it.
brilliant picture of you to put up instead.
Yeah.
LD.
Wow.
Jeez.
So are we mid recall here? The next one I want to talk about is Navi. That was the other big
Bible thumb.
Bible thump. I don't know. I don't know if upset is the right word because EG has historically been slapping them around a bit, but 2-0, I thought that was at least going to be a 2-1, take it to a game 3, give them a run for their money.
It's
Navi
still a very
just-
tough opponent to face, though. EG.
That one
Very
was I thought whoever would win that bottom series would go to the finals, whether it was Navi or EG. I mean, it's
Yeah.
Because if Navi wins that, they have to be played really well. So
Yeah.
then maybe they do go. To
yeah, and I would just take either of those teams as a favorite over Fnatic or kind of Vici. It's still
It's been a long time since Navi's had a good performance. They
Yeah.
did decently in the D2L playoffs. I think that's it for like 5 or 6 months. They
Yeah.
bombed out of Star Ladder. They didn't do very well at the Summit. They beat Navi NA in the playoffs. That was the only team they took down. And it was still a 2-1 series. It was pretty close. They did not perform very well at ESL 1.
And that was also the only win that Na'Vi
This
US
is the
had
same
that
Na'vi
game.
that at the end of last year, they won Starletter Season 7, they won Starletter Season 8, and they won the preseason for Dream League. But what's going on with Na'Vi, Qojqva? I mean,
They save strats early.
I keep on being like, all right, this is the tournament where Na'Vi's going to get it together. But it
It's
just
like
isn't
one more
happening.
time.
What do you think?
I don't know at this tournament. I feel like they got so outlaned the first game. I think there was the game where Enigma and the other support just rotated bottom, killed like 4 people, and then took the tower. Then they won the game off of that. And game 2 was just the classic Na'Vi anti-match pick when they're in the loser bracket. So they do that every game.
Yeah.
when
That's
they're,
what they
like,
do in
down.
TI2. Whenever you need
Yeah.
a win.
Whenever you need a win really badly, just pick AM.
They should have.
Black
That was another
style.
game which I felt like they should have won. They had a really good start with that anti-mage, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Havost
I think they
is
should've
no
won that
burning
too.
when it comes, or Silo when it comes to anti-mage. He played well, but
I thought they were going to go like Weaver or Morphling, like something, well, less Morphling, because he hasn't played at all. I thought they were going to go Weaver that game, like something more aggressive.
Did Ichi do the Wisp Tiny in the game 2 of that series? Was that the one where Arteezy
Yes.
went the hand of Might, kind of recovery Midas on the Tiny? and just
Arteezy like
out-farmed him?
soloed their mid
Yeah.
lane of Rax. He just ran down mid and
That
bashed it.
That Tiny just hit critical mass. The AM couldn't do anything. They went man fight without a BKB and just
Yeah.
Craggy
I
and
still
Tiny's
thought they
no
could have won, though.
mage.
That was the game where fucking Mad pointed out after the game that Fanatic just kept on trying to come to fights as Prophet. Like, if that was,
Yeah.
I feel like if that was Bulldog on the Prophet, or it's
yeah.
Alliance, just the way they approach the game is different from Na'Vi. They're not trying to win the fights. They're trying to
Scatter
split
and
them.
rat.
I mean,
don't think Fanatic feels comfortable on that hero, to be honest. It doesn't look like.
I think at one point he was comfortable, but lately he's been like he's trying these new ways to play. He sees Bulldog play new things, he's like, oh, I should be doing that now. So I feel like he just needs to play Prophet how he plays Prophet,
Mm.
not try and mimic
Aggro Prophet.
Bulldog.
yeah.
I don't know.
He's an aggro player though, so
yeah, I mean, does it even suit Na'Vi to run Prophet for Fanatic? Like, he's so good on these tempo controllers. His clockwork's amazing.
Yeah.
His bat's quite good. His Darkseer was sensational at TI3, but yeah, we just haven't.
Yeah.
Bring back the Clinks, man.
clinks, yeah.
The clinks.
Oh, it's been a
I
while.
want a Funic Wisp again. No more Funic Wisp.
Rest in
Not
pieces.
not an offlane hero.
Hey, Dendy ran him solo mid one game.
That's
nice.
different.
Oh,
I saw
a
Nuttall
galaxy
do it
far,
once.
far away. But
Arteezy runs solo mid Wisp as well and kills pups.
yeah.
So that's actually most of the stuff I have on the docket here to go over, Qojqva. But was
We-
there any aspect of the tournament that you wanted to talk about that we didn't cover? Anything else that you found particularly interesting?
Not really. I really like the host, actually.
Red Eye.
Red
Vici.
Eye.
Never seen him before.
Yeah, he's a StarCraft guy, I think, right?
Ah.
Is
Well,
that-
he's like a general
a
esports.
esports
He
guy.
started
General.
with it
Oh.
was either Quake or Unreal Tournament, like
Yeah.
first-person shooters.
yeah.
Moved
He
on to like Counter Strike.
Did StarCraft for a while.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
like a general esports
British host, best host.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing. He's got the perfect voice, perfect accent. You just when that guy talks, you sit down and you listen. There's
That's
no way
true.
about it. Yeah, I actually really enjoyed the panel. I thought it was a pretty diverse
Mhm.
diverse group, and I liked that they switched it up. You know, you got some Merlini, some Synderen. There was a
Jackie
nice
Mao.
yeah, and they brought the players in. They had No Tail on there. They had if you would bring up EE Sama.
They
man.
did.
Yeah, he was on there.
They
I
did,
know,
yeah,
but
they did.
Yeah. Loda, Pycat. Yeah,
Yeah.
they brought in quite a few.
it was nice. I thought it was quite good. So, all right, Qojqva, a pleasure. Glad you could call in and join us here. Shoutouts?
No
Anything
problem.
you want to say? This is your time, man.
Not really. Hope we do all at TI.
I know
That's all,
you've
I
got some
guess.
sponsors.
You're not gonna flame
What?
Bulba, man. This is the perfect opportunity.
Oh yeah.
Bulba
We need a
invented
new
Dota.
captain, guys. Bulba.
Oh,
Boy.
Oh man, things
Well,
are getting spicy.
Here
yeah.
comes the Reddit threads.
Guys, make sure you follow him on Twitter. It's at LiquidQojqva. Good luck trying to spell it. I believe it's Qojqva, right?
That's
I'll
correct.
take your word
Yes.
for it.
Nailed it. I had memorized it
Nice.
before the show. I couldn't. I always transpose the second Q in the J. The J comes first. It's not QOQ.
I don't blame you. It's hard.
It's a tough
Even
one. Yeah.
Qojqva struggles with his own name.
What is
True
the
that.
the background on that name? Before you go, I want to know.
I really disliked my Dota 1 name, so being the 15-year-old kid that I was, I just closed my eyes and typed 6 random letters.
You got a vowel in the second
You
one.
did.
That's pretty
you
good.
did something pretty interesting. I
Yeah.
gotta say. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
got a vowel in the second one. Usually it's just ADGF.
Yeah.
So, the pronunciation, did you just kind of scrape it together and think, well, I know there are some extra characters in here that are just silent, but Qojqva's the way I'm going with it. I mean,
Yeah.
this,
It sounds like there might not have been a whole lot of thought.
Look,
No,
Yeah,
I
let's
just-
try not to.
you
dig
did well.
the
Yeah,
Your,
ogre.
your RNG was good.
yeah.
we like your name.
Play more ogre.
Alright.
stands out. That's what it's all
Right.
about. Thank you so much, Qojqva. Good luck at TI. If we don't talk to you again,
Thanks.
I'm sure we'll see you in Seattle. So take
Bye,
care,
Qojqva.
buddy.
Thank you.
Yep. So, all right. That brings us pretty close to the end of part 1 of this episode. We'll have Draskell coming on for the second part to get into the good, juicy drama. We've got a nice, meaty discussion coming up for part number 2. But,
Yum.
Sounds good.
yeah, I think I'm just scrolling over my notes to make sure there wasn't anything we missed. I think that's it. So we'll have a quick break here, guys. Don't go anywhere. Part 2 of episode 13 of In the Studio by 100 TB comes up after this break.